Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I bring you guys week 2 of the aDrive Army Battle League. We are about to go down against the Cleveland Escavaliers. Your New York Metapods are back once again for a live team building breakdown and also the match, which will be later in this video. I haven't built the team yet. I'm going to be building it live like I did last week. And if you didn't see last week's match, definitely go check that out. The idea here is that I'm going to take about 20 to 30 minutes or so to build a team live for you guys, so you guys can kind of see my team building thought process. This is very different than how I build teams for my other leagues, where I spend normally about a week to build a team, and I kind of go through a bunch of different iterations and things like that. But this is much more abbreviated and just meant to be kind of for fun. I don't really take the league too seriously, man. It's just in fun, just to battle some of the subscribers and stuff like that. So we got Rudiger here and the Cleveland Escavaliers, who I believe picked up a win last week. Got a very powerful team with Landorus, Therian running Z moves, Klefki, Vaporeon, Delmise, ALOLA and Persian, Quillfish, Electivire, which also can run Z moves, Mega Absol, Infernape, Haxorus, Tornadus Incarnate, and Kecleon. One thing that makes me a little concerned is like a Rain Dance Z Electivire could be really scary with Thunders, and that could pair with Tornadus running Hurricane and stuff like that. But generally, he's got a pretty solid team, but I actually think that we should be able to build something to kind of counter it. And he's got some big threats, but I do think we have enough pieces that can work to make things happen. So without further ado, let's jump into the team builder here. First thing I noticed, just kind of looking at his team, is Pidgeot. Pidgeot is obviously really solid against him. I'm gonna be running, obviously, Mega Pidgeot here, and we'll kind of, I guess, is there any abilities here that make sense? I don't think I get confused from anything. My accuracy can't be lowered. I guess we run Big Pecs, but Hurricane seems pretty straightforward. Heat Wave looks really good because of Klefki. U-Turn seems pretty solid, and then just for momentum, and then I'm thinking HP Ice for Landorus Therian form probably makes the most sense. I don't know if we need anything else. I feel like those 4 moves are really good. I don't even know if we need HP Ice. Let's open up our damage calc here, and let's just take a quick look. I know the damage calc doesn't really look that great, but because I have to cover it with other stuff, there's not really a way for me to like make it work. So like max HP Landorus is not taking Hurricane. If I run HP Ice, it does do a little bit more. So I'm gonna run Hidden Power Ice. I think it's worth it just to make sure I get the KO on that thing. We know we're gonna run max special attack. And in terms of speed, we need to make sure we're outspeeding. It looks like Mega Absol is the fastest thing. So we wanna make sure that we're gonna hit at level 100, 362 speed. So we're gonna need to be a plus speed nature. We wanna hit 362 is gonna be the goal. That's gonna put us above the, well, actually, hold on. I have to check it out. I know you could put Mega Pidgeot in there, but it's a little weird. So 362 is 208. It looks like. So we need 208, and that'll put us above the. That's gonna put us above the Absol basically. I don't think he's got anything faster. Infernape's 108. Tornadus is 111. And everything else is Scarfs, like potentially Scarfs. That's gonna be faster. I think Persian also sits at 115. Yeah, it does. So that's our Pidgeot. Pretty straightforward. Don't really have to do anything too crazy there. I like this set. I mean, Hurricane spam is really good. His best switch into Hurricane spam is Klefki, pretty much, and maybe Electivire, but at the end of the day, I can always U-turn around, which I really like, so that seems like a pretty solid set there. The next Pokemon that I'm kind of looking at here, I think this is a really good opportunity for Zygarde to get some action. One, I like Zygarde's ability to extreme speed against things like Absol and Infernape, and also like a defensive Zygarde is pretty solid against him because it can run like Coil and stuff. And I can also take, just with my natural bulk, we can take some hits. So I'm thinking Zygarde's like a pretty solid bring. So I know we're gonna bring Zygarde. I'm not exactly sure what the set is gonna be just yet. We know we're gonna have Aura Break, and we know we're gonna have 1,000, arrows. So we know that's gonna be a thing. I know I'm gonna bring a Azumarill in this match. Azumarill looks really, really good against him. The priority Aqua Jet is super clutch against things like Infernape and Mega Absol and Landorus. That's gonna be one of our keys to victory here, is using Azumarill. It's just a matter of what Azumarill set do we bring. Do we bring the Belly Drum set? Can I set up on something with Belly Drum? I feel like a Choice Banded Azumarill also looks really good in this match as a potential way to win the game at the end. So I'm not really sure which Azumarill we go with, whether it's the Banded set or whether it's a Belly Drum set. So we'll kind of revisit that. Otherwise, let's see here. Some of the big threats are like Landorus, so something defensively that can kind of check Landorus would be nice. I think Rotom Mow is a really solid pick there. What is his ground type? It is just Landorus, right? Is that his only ground type Pokemon? I think so. So aside from Electivire, like Rotom should be able to do some Volt Switching and stuff, which could be pretty valuable in this match. It also gives me a Defogger to help me against Klefki. So I think Rotom is just too good to pass up. So we are going to bring Rotom. And we're gonna bring Levitate. We definitely want Defog on it. We want Volt Switch on it. I'm thinking we want Leaf Storm because of Vaporeon. That also allows us to hit a couple other things pretty well. And then last but not least, maybe Will-O-Wisp would be solid. Just kind of a straightforward move there. I'm thinking that that's probably gonna be a good option, Will-O-Wisp. We do have to be really careful with how we deal with the Haxorus there. So let's finish this set here. I think this Rotom can pretty much just be bulky. I don't really see why we need to put speed on it because everything else is going to be faster than me. So there's really not reason to put any speed on it. I mean, I'll put just a few EVs in speed just in case he tries to creep me with anything. But generally, we can run a pretty defensive set. I'm thinking this Rotom Mow, I'm thinking it should just be, let's see here, Rotom, I keep putting Rotom Wash. Thinking we just want to be defensive for Landorus, just so we have something very safe to switch into his Earthquakes and stuff. I mean, he does have U-turn, which is annoying, but generally, like, we can take an Earthquake, you know, so I think that that's pretty solid. So we'll make him, like, pretty physically defensive, I think. I don't really care about him more from an offensive perspective. It's more about a defensive set this week. That kind of makes a lot of sense to me. So we'll run like pretty physically defensive. I think that's pretty safe, and that's maxed out there. We're just running max defense basically, which is going to help us against Delmise as well. We can switch into Vaporeon. He's going to have to, you know, we can Volt Switch out on that thing. We can take some hits from Electivire, which is nice. He could have Fire Punch, but generally I'm not too concerned there. You know, he's got some big threats though that can definitely hurt us, but you know, for the most part, that's what the role is for. Okay, so now looking at some of the other threats, I do feel like Necrozma's a pretty solid bring. We have to figure out what are we doing defensively to help us against things like Haxorus, Mega Absol, and Infernape, and I'm feeling like Necrozma is the answer to those Pokemon. Physically defensive Necrozma. I understand that Mega Absol is a problem because it can easily go for like a knockoff or something, but we should be able to take it. So like we could definitely run Necrozma defensively to try to help us against that. It's a weird situation because I need to figure out how do I check those three Pokemon effectively. You know, Absol's probably gonna be running Ice Beam for Zygarde. Infernape will probably have HP Ice. It could be like a mixed Infernape set. So that's really difficult for us to deal with, is that Infernape. Let's see here. I don't think like Stakataka just doesn't really fit because it's gonna struggle so much against a lot of it. Like unless he runs Superpower, we could run the Fighting Z Crystal on Stakataka, or I'm sorry, the Fighting Reduction Berry, Chople Berry, or Sugar Berry on Stakataka, because offensively it destroys a lot of his team. Like Stakataka can really wreck a lot of his team if I can get a Trick Room up. So we have some options there. Like I definitely can go defensive or like a Berry Stakataka. It's one option. Salazzle doesn't look terrible here if I can figure out how to get through Vaporeon. Pangoro looks okay as a way to kind of deal with Absol. I don't know how good it's going to be otherwise. Ferroseed is solid for Haxorus and kind of solid for Absol, but it's going to get knocked off. He very well could have a fire coverage move there. Yeah, just trying to figure out the best six. We have 2 slots left, basically. So I feel like I need a way to beat Vaporeon is one thing, like something that can beat Vaporeon. I'm trying to see what he switches into Pangoro's knockoff, aside from like Pangoro's dual stab, like really can mess up his team, and Parting Shot could be pretty solid for us, being able to Parting Shot out. So Pangoro is an option here. I don't like the option of Shuckle. What is his? He's got Klefki and Landorus to remove hazards. So Sticky Web's really, and he's got Delmise too. Sticky Web's not really the best of options here. Just trying to figure out how do I deal with Haxorus potentially setting up, and how do I deal with, you know, he's got some pretty big offensive threats. This is tricky. I feel like I'm gonna have to bring Necrozma Stakataka, and Necrozma will just have to, if he doesn't bring Roar Vaporeon, Necrozma can probably set up on him. It also shuts down a few other things. Like Absol with knockoff. Let me see what knockoff from Absol is doing to Necrozma. Like, assuming it's a more bulky set. I'm just curious if I run like a defensive set against the Absol. I'm sure it's gonna hurt. Yeah, I mean, if I'm running a Z Crystal, let's run Air Balloon. So he's doing half to us if I'm like physically defensive, which actually isn't bad. That's damage that could be roosted, like kind of healed off. So and I think it's Necrozma is one of our best ways to deal with like Infernape. So I'm gonna bring Necrozma. We're gonna bring Moonlight on it. I'd see Psychic Stab being pretty solid here, just like Photon Geyser. And then I think this is my Stealth Rocker. And then I think we just need something to hit Mega Absol. So fighting or bug move would make the most sense. I mean, Earthquake will do what we need it to do as well. We do have to be careful though, because that Delmise could trap us. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to run like a weakness policy set with a Totemize, but he's got Mega Absol Sucker Punch, so that's gonna be really difficult to deal with. But a weakness policy, a Totemize set could work. Again, we're just dealing with a lot of weird things like Klefki potentially Thunder Waving, stopping a sweep. So we have to, like, I'm trying to position a sweep in a different way. Like, I don't know if I necessarily want to just go straight up like that. I do like Earthquake actually as my last move, as a way to hit Klefki, and also it's gonna hit the Infernape, it's gonna hit the Electivire. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair coverage. It also hits the Quillfish. I mean, I guess we're hitting the Quillfish either way. That seems pretty solid. I'm gonna just run like a pretty bulky set too. I don't think I really need any speed for his team. I'll run a little bit of speed, but everything he's got is gonna be faster than me anyway. So this will be kind of like one of the pieces of glue that we have to kind of hold the team together. And I can, what do I want to lower? Do I want to lower my speed? I feel like I don't really need my speed. I'm okay with running a negative speed nature here. I don't really think that's that big of a deal. So let me just calc this real quick. If I'm running that and I'm bold and we have 140, I want to make sure that this thing can handle Infernape, and I'm assuming it can. Like just a standard offensive Infernape. Yeah, I mean, we can, I always calc at level 50, but yeah, we can take the Flare Blitzes and heal off the damage. So I think that that's kind of the way to go. We'll just go like a really bulky set. Kind of take the easy way out on this Necrozma. This guy's done. We still have to kind of go back to those guys. So that helps us out with some stuff. I think one of our primary issues right now is still that Mega Absol. I'm really thinking that a Belly Drum Azumarill can win this game. With just enough speed to outspeed the Vaporeon, we can Belly Drum up on Vaporeon, we can Belly Drum up on Mega Absol, we can Belly Drum up on Infernape, even if he has Grass Knot. I really feel like the Belly Drum Azumarill is the play, so I'm actually gonna run that Normalium Z Belly Drum. I just think it's too good to pass up. So we'll run Belly Drum, we'll run Aqua Jet, we're gonna run Play Rough, and we're gonna run Knockoff. I think is probably the best set of options there. Because if we go +6, I don't even think I need to do calcs. Like, he is not gonna live those hits. Like just a standard, we're gonna run the Z one, Normalium Z Belly Drum. And really, like, when it comes to outspeeding, we just need to outspeed Vaporeon, which is gonna hit 166. So we can really just go and hit, you know, I doubt he's gonna run a ton of speed. So if I run 136 EVs, that'll put us at 170. That should put us faster than anything he's gonna have. We'll run a plus speed, and let me calc at +5, assuming Landorus Intimidate. We're gonna assume Lando Intimidates here. If I'm +5, Aqua Jet's killing a max defense, max HP Landorus. Infernape is not gonna live the hit. I would imagine Vaporeon is not taking it doesn't even take 1 Play Rough. I'm assuming Delmise goes down to Knockoff. It does. Yeah, I mean, I don't see, even Quillfish would be the other issue. Play Rough should be able to do a tremendous amount. Yeah, so I'm actually thinking, I mean, that's max attack, but that's the general idea. So we'll run something like that. I think that's pretty fair. Get that max HP on there to maximize our bulk. We probably want to go one step down there, but yeah, I'm gonna run that. I think that Azumarill is really solid against him. I think that's the play. We'll subtract this special attack there. I think that's the way to go, man. Just run Normalium Z. It guarantees I get the belly drum off. I don't have to worry. I should be able to freely get a belly drum off against the Vaporeon. Again, like I said, I should be able to get it up against the Mega Absol, unless he's running Thunderbolt. But even if he is, I can take a hit, you know, because we're pretty bulky. I don't even think like a mixed Mega Absol running Thunderbolt is gonna do a ton to me. Yeah, it does like half, so, you know, we should be able to get our health back, you know. And let me just take a look here if we head to Cerebi.net. And just kind of look, because I want to make sure I understand fully how the Z belly drum works. I'm pretty sure what it does is it heals you up to full and then you belly drum is how it works. So I'm pretty sure it's how it works. Cuts you, restores HP, so heals the hit points of the Pokemon and then you take the belly drum. So you get healed up and then you belly drum. I'm pretty sure is how it works. A lot of people left comments and I think I got that right now. So we've got 4 out of the, you know, we got a lot of the team set up. So now it's about the Zygarde set. There's a part of me that just wants to run like Banded Zygarde because it's such a strong threat. It gives me a really, really good option to just like plow through his team. He doesn't really have a solid switching outside of Delmise to take Thousand Arrows. So we have those options. Like just a Banded Zygarde is gonna really, really hurt his team. You know, like and then you have the option for Banded Extreme Speeds. But what is a Vaporeon taking? Because you know he's gonna bring Vaporeon as a way to deal with Zygarde. So if I'm +1, say I'm banded, I mean, we're gonna be doing a tremendous amount of damage. I mean, we can 2-shot the Vaporeon with Rocks Up. So banded is not a bad option. Delmise is really the one thing that could potentially switch in. And I mean, yeah, it can switch in, but it gives us something that's just a really strong wall breaker against this team. What's Electivire's base speed? Is it 95? Because we can just speed, yeah, it is 95. So we can try to speed tie the Electivire, and then we have Choice Banded Extreme Speed, which really helps that against things like Haxorus. If it tries to set up on us, we do have the option of Choice Banded Extreme Speed, which is gonna be doing about half. So I'm gonna go the banded route. I do think there's some viability to do some other things, but I just feel like his switch-ins are gonna be limited to this thing. Even like Landorus switching in, getting Intimidate off, I mean, obviously that helps it, but it's still a 2-shot on it, so I feel like that's the way to go. So I'm gonna go with the Choice Banded set. Not Choice Scarf, Choice Band. Let's do the Choice Band. We're gonna run Thousand Arrows, we're gonna run Extreme Speed, we're gonna run Outrage, and we're gonna run, I mean, what else do I need? That seems pretty much it. I don't think we need anything else. I mean, I guess you can run, you don't wanna run Dragon Tail. I don't really need Stone Edge for anything. I mean, I don't even know what other 4th move you run on this thing. Facade in case I get burned by something. I mean, I mean, Brick Break actually isn't a bad idea. I guess we could fit Brick Break on there. I mean, you could say Dragon Claw, but and we're gonna run a Jolly set because I want to make sure I can speed tie that Electivire, and that's gonna really help us against that thing because that thing could be a bit of a threat to us. So we'll just run like a max. Max speed, max attack, just standard, you know, Choice Banded set. So I think these pieces are all good. So now, like looking at the team, in terms of things that are problematic, like obviously a Landorus, like setting up Landorus is really scary. There's not a ton we can really do about that with the team that we have. Unless Salazzle outspeeds +2 Lando, but I don't think it does. So we have to kind of figure out how do I want to approach this match and give myself the, like Azumarill can handle the Lando if it sets up with Aqua Jet and stuff. So it's like, what is the piece of the puzzle that helps the most here? Kind of looking at his team. I have ways to deal with Infernape. Even if he's Scarfed, like I have ways to switch into that thing. I have ways to deal with Absol in some respect. Like Azumarill really is there to kind of handle the Absol. Haxorus is super scary. So like there's a part of me that really wants something that's gonna be faster than his Pokemon. So I'm kind of leaning towards Salazzle to be that option, because his switch-ins to like Fire Blast and stuff is kind of limited, and I feel like as much as I don't want to bring Choice Scarf Salazzle again, I do see some viability there. So there's that. Stack Attacka, again, running Trick Room Stack Attacka, I feel like there's some options there, just because it's so powerful. But he's got a Delmise, which can really do some, like, it's gonna be really slow, so I'm not gonna be doing a ton of damage with Gyro Ball. He's got the Vaporeon, which can sponge the hits from that thing. So, Choice Scarf Pangoro does seem kind of interesting, as I mentioned earlier, just because I feel like his answers to switching into, like, knockoffs and even parting shots and brick breaks and stuff are somewhat limited. Ferroseed, I mean, I like Ferroseed for some things, and for other things I don't like it. Like, I like Ferroseed coming in on things like Vaporeon all day, and just being able to set hazards or potentially go for Leech Seed because his grass type is Delmise. Even Toxicking, things like that. He does have the Mega Absol, so that makes it a little trickier. I feel like he's gonna have Fire Blast. Snorlax is solid. I'm concerned about Snorlax mainly because of the Infernape. This is a tough 6 decision. I don't think Shuckle makes sense at all. So it really comes down to either do I bring Pangoro, and like if I bring Pangoro, is it a Choice Scarf set or is it like kind of just, you know, an offensive set? Pangoro can be really hard to switch into. And it gives me a really good Absol switch in. That's kind of one of the things I like about Pangoro. And his defensive responses to it are so limited. It can come in on Delmise too pretty well. I mean, he has to Power Whip, but it's not like he had, like, Power Whip's not really the best of plays against me. So I do kind of like Pangoro in that regard. But again, it just gets beat because things like Infernape are faster and so on and so forth. I don't see Snorlax really doing much this match. I feel like, yeah, I'm not really seeing the play with Snorlax. Like, Snorlax can spread Paralysis around, which is nice. And yeah, it can Curse, but it's not going to be able to beat Infernape. I don't think. I mean, even with Curses, it can run Ice Punch. I don't think that that's the play, though. I like Salazzle as, like, a Scarf Salazzle. I hate to, like, just bring Scarf Salazzle again, but I really do like Salazzle in this match as my last, just because I feel like with a Scarf, it can be really effective. Let's take a look. I don't know what it gets for grass coverage. I don't think it has anything. Yeah, it would have to run HP Ice, and then it's not really going to be able to do much to Vaporeon. So my way of dealing with Vaporeon at this point is just trying to beat it down with, like, Zygarde and stuff, which is kind of annoying. Vaporeon's definitely pretty annoying right now. I don't think Stack Attack is the answer. I don't think Ferroseed's the answer either. And Spiritomb, like, I don't see Spiritomb doing a ton. Shuckle studying, I just feel like he has way too many removers for Shuckle to be effective in this match. Way too many. Pangoro looks like it could be really good. Like, I have a very physically offensive team right now. Like, Pangoro setting up against something like Vaporeon is gonna do a lot of damage, even if it doesn't set up. This is tough. This is a tough call. I mean, Snorlax, he's got a lot of physical attackers, so I'm leaning against Snorlax here. I'm leaning against Snorlax. I just don't see Shuckle doing anything. Like, what does Shuckle do in this match if it can't set webs? It may just go Stack Attack, man. Just because it's such a threat with Trick Room. And it can beat Infernape, and it can beat Haxorus. And it can beat Tornadus. Because it can Trick Room up on those Pokemon. And it can Trick Room... I mean, it's just not going to do much to, like, Delmise or Vaporeon. Unless I have the Z move. And they can hit me super effectively. I have to run Earthquake, I have to run Trick Room, I have to run Stone Edge, and I have to... Yeah, Lando just comes in on it. I just don't think Stack... I'm sorry I'm so caught up here. I just don't think Stack Attack is the play. Snorlax does have some viability, though, man. I can run, like, a Gluttony Snorlax with the Berry and run, like, Toxic on it. I mean, I have switch-ins to Fire moves from Infernape. It gives me something else that can handle the Absol pretty well. And it does have Body Slam. Body Slam and Ice Punch are pretty good. Body Slam, Ice Punch, Toxic. Recycle isn't bad. I mean, Klefki comes in on that, but that's not terrible. It's not a terrible option. like a physically defensive type Snorlax. I don't see Spiritomb doing anything. That might be the way. That might be the play is go Snorlax. Oh, I just deleted my Necrozma set, which is kind of annoying. Oops. Alright, well, it was just defensive Necrozma. We had Earthquake on it, we had Photon Geyser, we had Moonlight, and we had Stealth Rock. And I was running max HP, and I was running a lot of defense. I think I had like 140. I was actually running a negative speed nature, and we were running that. Okay, that was more or less the same set. I wasn't like super picky about the IVs. All right, we got Snorlax. I'm gonna go Snorlax, man. I just feel like it's too good to pass up in this matchup. Let me just take a look. Like a standard Curselax. Oh, I guess it runs Rest is the standard. That's not actually a bad idea to run Rest. What is Landorus doing to me if I have Ice Punch? It's not a bad idea. What is Infernape doing? Choice Band, Infernape, close. I mean, if I can get +1, I have to get to +2. But +2 Body Slams are gonna be doing a lot. That's tough. I kind of like the idea of running a Berry with Recycle. That was my initial plan. This one's Leftovers. But I don't see why I can't like Recycle on a couple different things. So I'm gonna run the Recycle set. I think that's my play. I'm gonna run Recycle, I'm gonna run Ice Punch, I'm gonna run Body Slam, and it's gonna just kind of serve as a middle ground. And then what was my last move gonna be? Toxic. And I'm gonna run the Berry. Well, actually, so here's the thing. If I just run Leftovers and I don't run Recycle, I can run Curse. But then I'm relying on my recovery being just Leftovers based because I don't have Rest. I don't feel comfortable running just Body Slam. So I'm gonna run the Berry. So I don't want that one. Let's use the Iapapa Berry. Okay. And we're gonna run Gluttony. Okay, let's try that out. You know, that seems fine. And we'll run a standard HP spread on this thing. We'll run some good defense. What do they run? Careful? Yeah. Just to maximize that. And we'll run minus speed. Although, what's Delmize's speed? Delmize is gonna be fast in us anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, let's try that. I mean, it's a bulky Snorlax, Recycle, Ice Punch, Body Slam, Toxic. I think it has some viability in this match. I really wish I can get Curse on there. I mean, I can. If I get rid of Toxic, I could run Curse. I just feel like Toxic is so good in some ways, though. We'll run Curse. Because I can set up on things like Klefki. You know? I feel like that's better. Do I want to run Rest or do I... Let's run Rest. Let's run Rest Leftovers. When I think about Klefki, I think I can set up on that thing and run Curse and just run a Curse set. All right, let's do that. So here's our rundown. I think this is it. I think this is a team. We got Pidgeot here running Hurricane, Heat Wave, U-Turn, and HP Ice. Enough speed to outspeed Absol. We got Choice Banded Zygarde, hopefully breaking with 1,000 Arrows, Extreme Speed, Outrage, Brick Break. Really important with that Extreme Speed to help us out with priority. I got the Normalium Z, Huge Power, Zoom Roll with Aqua Jet, Belly Drum, Play Rough, and Knockoff. I think if I set up the right opportunities, this thing should just be able to win. We got Rotom here, which is Defog, Volt Switch, Leaf Storm, Will-O-Wisp. We got Necrozma with Earth Power. I actually meant to run Earthquake, but I forgot that it gets Earth Power, which is actually better. Photon Geyser, Moonlight, and Stealth Rock. I'm actually having second guesses. I just had an idea. I'll tell you guys in a second. And then a Curselax here with Rest, Ice Punch, Body Slam, Curse. I'm thinking about this more and more, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, why am I not running dual screens on this team? Because even though he has some defoggers, my win condition here is a Zoom Roll. If I can get a Zoom Roll in and get up that Belly Drum safely, then I don't see how I don't win this game. So I'm gonna actually run dual screens on something. I don't know what that thing is going to be though. I'm leaning towards Necrozma just because it's very bulky. So let's do that. We're gonna run Light Clay. We're gonna switch it up here. I just feel like it's too good to pass up. It's too good to pass up dual screens against him. Light Screen and Reflect. I only have Photon Geyser, which means I get walled by certain things, but honestly, I don't even care. And I don't have Moonlight anymore, but it's fine. Again, this thing's job is to get up a screen, let a Zoom Roll come in. If a Zoom Roll can set up, it should win the game. So we're gonna try that. I think that's a better set, to be honest. Unless there's anything else on my team that can run dual screens effectively, but I think Necrozma is the best answer. So yeah, that's the team I'm gonna rock with, man. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna get connected here with Rudiger shortly, and hope you guys enjoyed this quick team builder. Thanks for watching, and we'll get the battle going soon. All right, guys, here we are, ready to battle against Rudiger here. I have learned to ignore spectators, and we're also gonna be turning a timer on here. So you can see the team he brought. He brought Haxorus, Landorus, Alolan Persian, Vaporeon, Adelmize, and Kecleon, and a little surprising to see some of those Pokemon. If you remember his team, I was expecting to see Klefki, I was expecting to see Infernape, and even Mega Absol. Didn't bring a lot of those Pokemon, so a little surprising there. In terms of my lead matchup here, we're gonna turn the timer on. We'll start that timer on, and in terms of our lead matchup, I do like Eclipse as a lead, even though he could potentially knock off with Persian. I'm okay with that. I did switch to Earth Power, by the way, because I wanted to make sure I could hit everything. Of course, now he doesn't have Absol, so I wish I had Photon Geyser, but that's fine. Alternatively, you know, I could always lead Voltergeist, potentially Volt Switch out. Voltergeist seems like a solid lead just because it can handle the Persian. So I'm going to lead Voltergeist here, and we'll get that going. So we do have a timer on as well, guys, which is nice. So we don't have to stress about that. So he's going to lead Alolan Persian here. He may just try to go for a knockoff or something like that. I actually like the Will-O-Wisp play here because I can burn anything on his team, whether it's the Persian or whether it's something else. Like, I really like the ability to burn something. So I'm actually going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here on turn 1. He very well may fake out. He also may knock off, or he could parting shot. But either way, if he parting shots, he's going to fake out. So that's really going to do nothing to me. We're going to get some health back here, and the leftovers kind of counters that. I'm just going to Will-O-Wisp because anything that comes in, Haxorus isn't going to want to come in. Vaporeon can come in, but then I can burn it and get residual, and he's kind of got to be worried about potential Volt Switch. Delmize coming in, he gets hit with a Will-O-Wisp, and then he's burned. Persian getting burned is great. It seems like he's probably physically offensive anyway, and Kecleon is usually physically offensive, so I really, really like the option to get something burned here. So this is a really good kind of start for us. I mean, he could taunt us. Obviously, he has the play to potentially taunt us, but he's got to be really concerned about me going for a Volt Switch here and gaining momentum against him. So, and Persian's actually one of those Pokemon that, you know, we should be able to belly drum up against. So, he's going to Hidden Power. He's got probably HP Fire or something. I missed my Will-O-Wisp, which stinks. That may bring in the Vaporeon, but I'm just going to Will-O-Wisp again. Definitely a big miss there. It could get the Vaporeon in for free, which is a bummer, but it's all good at the end of the day. There's not much I could do about a miss there. We should be able to, you know, Will-O-Wisp and then potentially Volt Switch out on the Vaporeon. Maybe go into Snorlax and try to set up, because he actually doesn't have the best ways to deal with Snorlax unless he has Drain Punch on his Kecleon, which he could have, but we should be able to potentially get some curses up on this match. So I actually really like the 6 that we brought. And actually, I really like Pidgeot too still. You know, just he could very well be Assault Vest Kecleon, but Hurricanes are going to hurt his team. You know, and he's got some stuff that I'm faster than. So he just goes to the HP again. We're going to get the Will-O-Wisp off. This time we actually do hit it, which is nice. I don't want to take a ton more damage here. So I kind of want to switch out. I don't know what he's running, HP Ice or... Yeah, he's probably running HP Ice for Zygarde, actually, now that I think about it. So considering that, I kind of want to go into Eclipse here, maybe get my Stealth Rocks up. Doesn't seem like a bad option. I mean, I could take a potential knockoff. Alternatively, I go into Snorlax here and maybe just start setting up curses. Because really, what's his switching? I kind of like the early play into Snorlax. Let's go into Snorlax. I know I can take the hits. He goes for Parting Shot now. So now he switches out and goes for Parting Shot. And this is scary because he could always go into his Haxorus here and try to set up on me. And I've got to be very, very cautious of that. If he goes into Haxorus, we're going to have to just start firing off attacks. But he goes Kecleon. I'm led to believe that this thing is probably going to have Drain Punch. You know, just the way he brought it in. He could also have Knockoff and things like that. I do think that Eclipse is a solid bring here, even though I could potentially be in a tough spot because of Light Clay. You know, I could also go into Burb because I outspeed it, but that's kind of risky. I don't want to take an Ice Punch. I don't think he Ice Punched here. I think he Drain Punches, if anything. I would imagine a Choice Band Zygarde does just one-shot this thing. I'm going to just open up a calc here and just see, because I don't think he's going to go for the Ice move. And I would imagine against the Kecleon, even if he's like a defensive set, Choice Band 1000 Arrows is going to do a lot to him. Yeah, it does. So I could make that play. And actually, he has no switch-ins to Outrage either. So we have that as an option too. So I kind of like going aggressively here into Snake to take a Drain Punch. Or going into Eclipse to take a Drain Punch, but he could knock off. Let's go into Eclipse. Let's make the kind of middle ground play. He might go for, he just goes for the knockoff. Okay. So we take some damage there, but you can see we can eat that. He gets rid of our Light Clay. He's probably a little concerned about that. I do like the Stealth Rock play here, because I think that little bit of extra damage could be really helpful against his team. So I'm okay with that. He knows I have Light Clay, so we get our rocks up. He goes for rocks of his own, which is fine. We're both gonna get rocks up here. And then I assume he goes for knockoff again. I'm actually gonna reflect this turn. I get 5 turns of reflect. He goes for knockoff again, that's fine. And this gives me an opportunity to go into my zoom roll if I want to, which is pretty solid, actually. Going into a zoom roll here, because I have a reflect up, so now a zoom roll can switch in. It could get that belly drum off, and then what does he do? Let's do it. Let's go for it. Going into zoom roll here. He switches out into Delmise. Okay, so that was the play. Not sure if he expected me to do that. I should be able to take a hit from Delmise unless he's choice banded, and I can go for the knockoff. With the reflect up, I should be able to take a hit. He'd have to be like really, really offensive. I kind of just want to go for the knockoff here and just hit him. It's early game though, man, and I feel like I need this thing. It's very risky to go for the Z move. He likely goes for a grass type move if he's gonna attack me. I'm gonna make the play into Pidgeot, because Pidgeot can take dual stab. He's not gonna go for a steel type move. I think I'm gonna go to Pidgeot here. He goes for Power Whip, which is what we expected. It doesn't do much. The reflect is helpful there. And I can freely Hurricane now. What does this switch into a Hurricane? Potentially Kecleon. So I'm gonna go for the Hurricane. We should be able to nuke something here with a Hurricane. Those Stealth Rocks are gonna hurt me more than I think they hurt him, which kind of stinks, but that's alright. He goes into Kecleon, so this is Assault Vest Kecleon. We know that now. But, oh, we did a good amount, and we got the Confusion. Oh, he's Leftovers. Do I take my chances? I'm gonna take my chances and just Hurricane again. I'm gonna take my chances and Hurricane again. He hits himself a Confusion, perfect. Pidgeot gets a kill there with the Confusion. We lose our Reflect, which is a bummer, but hey, you know what? We got rid of the Kecleon. So in comes his Alolan Persian, which is burned. He very well could go for a Fake Out here. Or Hidden Power Ice. I kind of want to go into Eclipse here. I have Ignore Spectators, and it still shows people's messages. I don't know how. I'm not sure how that works, but so I'm actually faster. I mean, I can just take a Fake Out here. He is burned, and I can just Hurricane, or I can U-turn. How much am I doing with Hurricane? Because this is a lot of like a good opportunity, even if Pidgeot goes down. To yeah, Hurricane's doing a lot. I feel like I just go for the Hurricane. He's gonna Fake Out. That's fine. That extra turn of burn actually might be clutch here. Oh, he's lefties. Okay. I kind of just want a Hurricane. It may not knock him out, but obviously we have the chance to confuse him, and he's just gonna HP Ice. But that gets in a Azumarill. And if Azumarill gets to Belly Drum, oh, we actually knock him out. Dude, this thing's a beast. Yo, shoutouts to Pidgeot coming in and getting 2 kills right there. And I'm definitely gonna save it because his switch-ins are now very, very limited. And we have 2 more switch-ins to rocks because we're at 51%. So here I think he has, if he's scarfed on something, he's gotta go into it. If he scarfed Lando, if he scarfed Haxorus, I'll find out. Like if he goes into Haxorus, I'll just Hurricane it. If he goes into Lando, I'll just HP Ice it. And we'll find out if he's scarfed or not. Here comes Vaporeon. Okay, so he's definitely has Ice Beam. This could be my opportunity to go into Snorlax and start setting up. I'm gonna go for it. We're gonna U-turn out here. I don't really care if he burns me. We're going right into Snorlax. And he's gonna probably, oh, he's Toxic. That's fine. We've got Rest, so that's fine with me. We should be able to get a Curse off here. And that'll help us nullify the damages from Haxorus. So he goes for Toxic. Surprise, because if I just clicked Hurricane twice, this Vaporeon would have been in a tough spot, but that's alright. He goes right out into Delmise here. That's okay. I can Curse. And I'm taking damage. That's no big deal. I can Curse again. I'm going to Curse again. He's going to Rapid Spin to get rid of my hazards. Also fine. I get another Curse up. And we're sitting good here. We're sitting pretty good. I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna rest now because I'd rather rest now. That way you know, the Haxorus has to set up multiple times against me. You know, the Landers has to set. I can start getting rid of those sleep turns right away. Although Ice Punch right now seems really solid against him. One more turn. Here comes the Lando. I wish I Ice Punched, but that's okay. We're gonna rest. And he may try to nuke me here, but as soon as I wake up and we Ice Punch, we're okay. And I still have Choice Banded Zygarde in the back. He's gonna knock off, get rid of our leftovers, no big deal. He's Life Orb, which is fine. We're gonna Ice Punch again. And I think he realizes he's in trouble. Curselax, man, the last member of the team. He's gonna U-turn out. That's fine. He goes into Vaporeon, also fine. He's gonna try to Toxic me here, which is okay. I'm just gonna go for the Body Slam. We're gonna wake up this turn, get the Body Slam off. Oh, he went for Roar. He went for Roar. He's fully paralyzed. He went for Roar though. So we know he went for Roar. Which is fine. I mean, hey, you know what? We're just gonna Body Slam and get as much damage off on this thing as we can. If he's able to Roar here, it's fine. If he doesn't get the Roar off, it's okay. He goes into Azu. Also fine. We can just, does knockoff kill, or do I have to play rough? Azu, Belly Drum against Vaporeon, assuming he's defensive. I think I have to play rough. So I'm gonna play rough. We hit it, we knock him out. Vaporeon's gone. Curselax is looking phenomenal. Curselax is looking phenomenal. I think he goes Delmise here probably. We save this thing no matter what, I think though. If he goes Delmise, we have switch-ins. The key is just don't let the Haxorus set up. That's gonna be the key. Don't let Haxorus set up. So that stinks that he got fully paired. He goes into Delmise here. I mean, I have the knockoff play. I mean, I have the ability to click knockoff here and potentially knock him out. I'm not running max attack though. I'm running 124 adamant, which means I'm doing 66 to 79. He's at 76. So I think it's worth saving this thing just because of the threat of the Lando. He's likely going for a grass type move. I can go into Voltergeist and I can defog, or I can Will-O-Wisp. Actually, Will-O-Wisp is a phenomenal play. Let's go to Voltergeist here. He goes for Power Whip, that's fine. As much as I want to remove hazards here, I think just going for Will-O-Wisp is so clutch because we burn one of 3 huge offensive threats that are all physical. If Haxorus comes in and burns a Lumberry, that's kind of a bummer, but he can't set up at least. And we're gonna burn this guy here. He goes for Shadow Claw, but he's burned, so we should take it, and we do. I can freely defog now and get rid of this these Stealth Rocks, which are nice. And he's probably just gonna let this thing go down. So Shadow Claw again, that's fine. I can actually Volt Switch out into Pidgeot here, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna Volt Switch out into Pidgeot here. We know he's not Scarf Lando, and I doubt he's Scarf Haxorus, so I don't know if he's gonna make that play, but he's burned, so I mean, even if he goes for a Steel type move, I don't think it's gonna kill. He goes for Power Whip, so he makes a good play there, making the read that I could potentially switch out there, but we're free to Hurricane now, and there's no reason not to. So Pidgeot is looking really solid. Pidgeot's looking really, really solid right now. Like, something just dies, basically. That's pretty phenomenal. And this Landorus is slightly weakened. 81%, that's HP Ice range. So, basically, like, Pidgeot might be able to win this game. I don't know how much Pidgeot's doing to full health Haxorus. It's not gonna knock him out, but it's gonna put us in a good spot. Because even if I just get the Haxorus down to like just 20 health, that means Zygarde comes in and clicks Extreme Speed and wins the game. Or Azumarill comes in and clicks Aqua Jet and wins the game. Either way, the key is just keeping him from setting up. That was kind of the plan of this match. I'm so glad I brought that Snorlax. It didn't really do anything, but it forced, like, it would have won the game if he didn't have Roar on Vaporeon. So we would have easily just won there. But we connect the Hurricane, obviously, due to no guard. Phenomenal. Now he's got to go probably Lando. And again, the key right now is just do not allow the Haxorus to set up. As long as Haxorus doesn't set up, it's fine. If he goes Lando, I think we just HP Ice. Let's take a look here. Just a quick calc on Landorus T. We know he's not Choice Scarf, so we know he's offensive. Hidden Power Ice is gonna do, it should knock him out. Offensive Lando should die to Hidden Power Ice, especially at 81%. And we know he's Life Orb, so he's gotta go Haxorus, I think. And Hurricane should put the Haxorus in a situation where it can't really do anything. It'll put him low enough to the point where we can win. So here comes the Haxorus, is Mold Breaker. It could be Choice Scarf, doesn't matter. I'm gonna Hurricane. If he's Choice Scarf, it's a non-issue, it's a non-threat. I have enough bulk on my team. Hurricane comes off, knocks him down to 16. He is confused. He activates his Lumberry. He's gonna set up a Dragon Dance. But again, the key here was to ensure that I could revenge kill him with Extreme Speed. So it doesn't matter to me that he set up. Makes no difference. I'm gonna sack off my, I mean, I could just sack off Voltergeist at this point. I assume he's gonna attack. He has to attack. He's gonna Poison Jab. That's fine. Makes no difference. I do want to just check. Can a Zoom Roll one-shot this thing against Haxorus? I'm assuming we just go into, yeah, we're just gonna go into Snake here, which has the Extreme Speed, and we could just Extreme Speed. And that's why I brought Choice Bane as Zygarde, for this reason, having the ability to, you know, hit really hard with Extreme Speed. He could go Lando here, obviously. It's not a bad play. We could have some switching back and forth, but eventually, like, Landorus is gonna get weakened to the point where a Zoom Roll can just Aqua Jet twice. He knows Extreme Speed is coming here. I don't have to overplay this. Like, Extreme Speed is 1,000,000% my safe play. If Landorus kills something, it's fine. Like, again, I'm not super concerned about the Landorus because I have Aqua Jet plus Extreme Speed. So, you know, I just have to play the pieces right with a Zoom Roll and Zygarde here. We should be able to win this game. I'm not really going to care about differential, honestly. Like, and honestly, at this point, too, I think Snorlax can really just, you know, probably sponge a hit. But he's going to go Lando. He's going to get the Intimidate off. It's going to hurt our Extreme Speed damage. It only does a little bit. But here we just, I think, you know, we pretty safely just go into Eclipse, I think, is the play. Just let Eclipse go down. He's got knockoff. It's super effective. Doesn't matter. Again, same thing, though. Pidgeot comes in and just wins this game at this point in the match. So, you know, we'll just click. I actually only have Earth Power, which is kind of funny. We'll just click Reflect. He knockoffs and kills us. But we know he's Life Orb because he's taking damage from Life Orb. So Pidgeot comes in, and we can just click Hidden Power Ice here. That's going to knock him out. We'll say GG. And then we know we're going to outspeed the Haxorus as well. So we're just going to Hidden Power Ice. I actually don't know. Does Haxorus' Mold Breaker ability ignore No Guard and make it so No Guard doesn't work? I don't know. But we take the 4-0 win there against Rudiger. We take that nice bounce back after last week. Mega Pidgeot put in the work, though. I don't know how many kills it got, but I think it like actually got like 5. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure Mega Pidgeot got 5. It got Kecleon, it got Persian, it got Delmise, it got Haxorus, it got Landorus. What killed Vaporeon? I gotta see what actually killed Vaporeon, because I think that this dude just got legitimately like 5 kills. What ended up killing Vaporeon? I'm not even sure. Let me go back. Vaporeon. Oh yeah, a Zoom Roll killed Vaporeon. So 5 kills for Pidgeot, dude. This thing is a monster, and we're gonna pick up a W, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. A little shorter than last time, which is nice. Like I said, we used the timer, and I don't think it was bad to use the timer at all. So props to my opponent Rudiger and the Cleveland Escavaliers. We moved to 1-1 here in the aDrive Army Battle League. It's a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button down below and subscribe if you're new. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Thanks so much for checking out my last video. If you like that one, you'll definitely like this one. And be sure to subscribe for more as I post Pokemon videos every single day.